I sat in a small room, waiting for my doctor to come back with my test results, all while I coughed up a storm. Recently and suddenly, my health started to decline, despite being perfectly healthy beforehand, so I went to the doctors and had every test under the sun done. I had to wait a week for the results, but once they were in, my doctor told me he wanted to explain what they found in person, which sounded bad. So I arrived, waited, and then I was led to a room to wait for my doctor. After what felt like forever, he stepped inside, looked at me, and then looked quite sad. He sat down on a stool in front of me and started telling me that he had no good news. He opened his folder and told me I had some sort of genetic deterioration at the cellular level. He then told me I'd likely experience accelerated aging, a decline in tissue function, chronic inflammation, and a reduced capacity for repair. He then said it would likely manifest as a weakened organ system, reduced stem cell activity, and increased risk of cancer, among other things. He closed the folder and told me that I likely had a couple months before total system failure, and that I should get my affairs in order, as there was no way to cure it or slow it down. All they could do was help me manage the pain. That news was a lot, and I didn't take it well. I went to the store and bought a couple $100 worth of expensive booze and drank myself to sleep. I woke up a day and a half later when my mailman knocked on my door and slipped my mail through the mail slot. I got up, feeling like a sack of garbage, and walked over to the mail. Most of what I got was bills or junk mail, but one of them was a gold letter. I tossed the rest of the mail over my head and opened the gold letter. It turned out to be an invitation to a new experimental clinical trial that could possibly help me. My doctor had recommended me, and they accepted me as a patient. With literally no other options than to die, I decided to go. I arrived at the facility and was greeted by the people running the trial. They gave me a bunch of paperwork to fill out, which I sat down to do since I was feeling extremely cruddy. I filled everything out, brought it back to the attendant at the counter, then went back to my chair to wait. I ended up passing out only to be woken up by a doctor after all the other people in the trial were taken away to begin. The doctor was very kind and helped me up, and then down the hall to the room I'd be using during the trial. Once we were standing in front of the room, the doctor had me take a pill, and he even joked that it would have me up and running around like a racehorse. I laughed and said I hoped so, but honestly, I didn't have much hope. After taking the pill, I was tossed into the room, which was nothing like I expected. I was expecting a small room with a bed and maybe a television, but this room was a large field with a horse stable and a racetrack for horses. It was strange, but perhaps it was part of the trial. I'm not a doctor, so I have no idea how these things are supposed to work, and I didn't care as long as I could get better. Having no idea what to do with myself in this room, I went and leaned against the fence to the racetrack and relaxed. I sat there enjoying the simulated nature provided by the room, all the way up until this pleasant smell was pumped into the room and I passed out. I then had quite a strange dream, which was unusual as I didn't typically remember my dreams after waking up. In the dream, I was perfectly healthy again, but I was strangely taller yet thinner, with long brown hair and a blue ribbon around my right ear. I was also running around, my hair blowing in the wind, enjoying my freedom and healthy body. When I woke up, I was amazed to find I was feeling much better. My body was much stronger, perhaps even more than before I got sick. I swear I was even taller as well. I was so excited to be feeling better that I overdid things a bit. Seeing as there was a racetrack right behind me, I decided to hop the fence and use it. I spent the next hour running around the track like a child on a sugar rush, and it felt amazing. I only stopped because my stomach started to grumble. Once I stopped, I reached my hand up to the top of my head and scratched the area behind my ear, as I thought about what I was supposed to eat. There wasn't any food I'd normally eat, yet there was a ton of different types of grasses and other vegetation around, which for some reason sounded good. So I dropped to my knees, then to my hands, and started munching on some grass, and to my delightful surprise, it was really good. I ate and ate until my belly was nearly full. I would have filled my belly, but that relaxing smell started to fill the room again, and I passed out. After falling asleep, I had another dream, this time an amazing and extremely vivid one. I was a beautiful horse girl running around a ranch while a rancher chased after me with a lasso. I had an amazing body, one that was not only perfectly healthy, but also quite fit and pretty. I had my cute horse ears on my head with my favorite blue ribbon tied around the right one. I was wearing a sports bra and gym shorts along with a pair of sneakers, and I was just enjoying myself as I ran around as I pleased. I was eventually caught, mostly because I let my handsome rancher catch me. Then I was led back to my stable and given a couple of sugar cubes as a treat before he started brushing my hair. It was really amazing, which is why I was a bit disappointed when I woke up. I was still in the clinic, and I didn't have a rancher to brush me, to feed me, or even show me affection, but at least I still had my cute body, with its slim waist, perky chest, long hair, and of course, my horse tail and ears with my favorite ribbon tied around one of them. Not wanting to be disappointed about things, I decided to have fun like I did yesterday, but only after I ate some more grass and got a drink at the nearby river. After those things, however, I started running around, this time through the big field. It was so fun, and I was so happy doing it. My hair and tail blew in the wind behind me from how fast I was. Once I was a bit tired from that, I decided to check out the stable that was inside the room, since I hadn't done so yet. I was amazed to find it was filled with hay for me to lay on, as well as a ton of toys to play with. I felt like a total idiot for falling asleep outside this whole time. Not wanting it to go to waste, I roll around on my hay bed for a few minutes, then start playing with the toys. There was a big jolly ball, which I grabbed with both my hands and held while I spun around in circles. I then released it, letting it bounce all over the room. After doing it a few times, I noticed a piece of thick rope coming out of the wall. So I grabbed it and started pulling it. At first it came out easily, but the more that came out, the harder it got to pull on. It really tested my strength, but I was super strong now and managed to get it out a couple feet. The last thing I ended up playing with wasn't exactly a toy. It was a metal bucket, but it was interesting and fun. I kept picking it up and tossing it. I even kicked it a few times. The last time I kicked it, though, I used too much strength and put a big dent in it. After that, I was pretty tired and wanted to take a quick nap. That nap turned into a pretty long sleep, and once again I had an amazing dream. I was once again at a ranch, but alongside the rancher there were other horse girls like me, and we were all playing. It was the life I dreamed of, literally, and when I woke up, I was expected to be disappointed by being inside the clinic again, but I wasn't. I was inside a stable, with a handsome rancher standing in front of me, ready to welcome me to my new home. He showered me with praise and affection, and told me he'd take good care of me. He then put a rope around me and started to show me around the ranch. It was a truly beautiful place, but as of right now, I was the only horse girl there. My handsome rancher told me not to worry, though. The people he adopted me from said they'd be able to get him more, so it wouldn't be long until I had a big group of sisters, which I was super thrilled about. Until then, I had the ranch to myself, and I was going to enjoy it. Which is what I did when I untied myself and started running off, all while the handsome rancher chased after me, calling me a little mischievous rascal. Log number 126, subject 003, the horse girl, Alexander Ehrenfeld, age 32. Subject 003 has seen positive results from the trial. As hoped, the pill turned the once fragile dying man into a strong, healthy horse girl, and the reprogramming was 100% successful. Log number 126 continued. After the trial ended, the subject was rehomed into a ranch where our organization has conducted past experiments. The owner of the ranch will take good care of her and eagerly awaits more horse girls. The subject will live a long, healthy life running free to her heart's content, and there is no reason to suspect she'll be a risk to our organization. Hello there. Did you like the video? If you did, leave a like or even a comment. Comments are great and I love chatting with you. Anyway, check out my Patreon and DeviantArt pages if you haven't already. Both support my work and it would mean a lot to me if you check them out. Well, that's it. Thanks for listening. I hope you all have the best day ever.